Hola, mi clase. So we are doing 7.3 equations with distributive property. I can use the distributive property to solve equations. So our key terms, we've got distributive property. So the distributive property is all this red stuff. I know this is like a weird way to look at it, but so it's for all real numbers, A, B, C. We would then multiply the number on the outside into the parentheses, into everything into the parentheses, and we would get AB plus AC, right? We've seen these parentheses in some of the problems that I've removed for you. And then it can work when it's minus 2, so we multiply everything into the parentheses. We get AB minus AC, okay? And then just remember, we cannot combine things that are not alike, right? We're going to talk about that. So it says combining like terms, same variable raised to the same power. You can only combine. So we've got 2x plus 3x. See how these are both x's? They equal 5x. But this, x squared and x are not the same. We cannot combine these. Okay, so this is what we've been trying to work on recently, is when they're on the same side and they're the same term, we can combine them. Okay, this is kind of what we're talking about. All right, so here we have our first problem. We have 3 times x minus 5 in parentheses plus 1 equals 2 plus x. So this is where we're going to apply that distributive property. I'm going to take 3, I'm going to multiply it with x, and then I'm going to multiply it with this 5, but I'm not going to lose this minus sign. So 3 times x is 3x. We're going to go minus, see, minus 3 times 5 is 15. And then we just put the plus 1 right back because we didn't do anything with it. It's not in the parentheses. Do not multiply it. Equals 2 plus x. So this now looks similar to what we've been doing. So if you notice, we've got this minus 15 plus 1. These are the same, right? Because one has these, I mean, neither one of these have variables. So if I have negative 15 plus 1, we're going to get 3x minus 14 equals 2 plus x. And now this looks very similar to 7.1. So I'm going to subtract x first because it's the smaller of the two coefficients. I'm going to get 2x minus 14 equals 2. Now we have a 2-step, so I'm going to remove everything from my variable. I'm going to go plus 14. Okay, I want you to also notice that I had my x's go from right to left. So my constants need to go the opposite direction, left to right. Okay, they need to go in opposite directions. Sorry, I just need to change that to a 14. So we get 2x equals, well, that gets me 16. I'm going to divide by 2, and I'm going to get x equals 8. Don't worry, I remembered what 16 divided by 2 this time was. All right, let's do the next one. So this side's going to stay the same. See, no parentheses, and these cannot be combined. So those are going to stay. 5 minus 7k equals. Now here's my parentheses. I'm going to multiply negative 4 with k. I'm going to multiply negative 4 with 1. And then I'm going to leave this alone because it's not in the parentheses. Negative 4 times k is negative 4k. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. See how I was able to do that? Minus 4. And then I'm going to go minus 3. So this side's still, once again, going to stay the same. Nothing can be combined. Equals. But if you notice, I have minus 4 and minus 3 more. So I'm going to go negative 4k minus 7. Minus 4 minus 3, that gets me minus 7. They're both negative, so it stays negative. Now it's like 7.1. This is the smaller coefficient is negative 7. This is negative 4. I'm going to go plus 7k plus 7k. Notice I'm putting it right with the k's because they are like terms. I get 5 equals 3k minus 7. My variables went from left to right, so my constant needs to go from right to left. So we're going to get 12 equals 3k. We're going to divide by 3, and we get 4 equals k. Done. So here's one with a fraction. We've actually kind of sort of done one like this on our homework. I want to get rid of this fraction first, okay? So I'm going to multiply everything like this by 4 over 1. But remember, we're only going to multiply this. Oop, that was way too far of an arrow. Hold tight. This and this. Remember, the parentheses protect these pieces. So 4 times 3 is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Now put the parentheses back this time because we didn't remove any of that. We have to have that there. And then 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Put the parentheses back, 9 plus x. So we're kind of combining 7, 3, 7, 2, and 7, 1 all into one problem. Because this is 7, well, the whole thing's 7, 3, right? We're learning parentheses. But this first step is 7, 2. Now I've got the distributive property. This is 7, 3. So here we go. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 13 is negative 39. Now we have to we're going to do another one over here. Distributive. Negative 72 plus negative 8x. Okay, you don't always have to put a minus if you don't want to. Now we're at 7, 1. So first this was 7, 2. Now we're doing 7, 3. Now this is 7, 1. So I'm going to add 8x here. I'm going to add 8x here. Now the reason I'm adding is because it's negative and the inverse is positive. Also, it's plus a negative 8, so I would minus a negative 8, right? Minus a negative 8. Look, it becomes a double. So that's why I can just add. Okay? And I'm putting x's underneath x's because they are like terms. So 8, 9, 10, 11 minus 39 equals negative 72. Oh, I lost my x. Don't lose my x. You guys do that too. So see, it's common. So my variables went from right to left. So my constants need to go from left to right. 11x equals, I'm going to snag a calculator because I feel like doing that in my head. Negative 72 plus 39 is negative 33. We divide by 11. We get x equals negative 3. All right. So for this first one, additional practice, it might be a good idea for you to pause and see if you can do this problem yourself. Maybe just do the first step and then unpause, see how you did, and then pause, and then second step, and so on. So it'd be a good idea for you to practice without me at this point to see if you can do these, okay? So the first step is to, we go y minus 5 equals, we're going to leave the 3 here. Now this is where we got to be careful. And I know I should have probably just showed you this first, but see how this is actually negative 9? I'm going to distribute by a negative 9 first. So I'm going to get negative 9y, and I'm actually going to get minus 18, not plus 18, because this is a negative 9. All right, I'm going to get y minus 5 equals. Now I have positive 3 and negative 18. These are like terms, and they're on the same side because they don't have a y, and they're both on the right-hand side. So I can put those together. So I'm going to get negative 9y, and then I'm going to get negative 15, right? If we type that in our calculator and go negative 8, go 3 minus 18, we get negative 15. You could also do negative 18 plus 3, that'll get you negative 15. All right. Now we're at 7, 1. I'm going to go plus 9. Plus 9y. We're going to get 10y minus 5 equals negative 15. Don't lose that negative. So y's, or my variables, went from right to left. I need to go constants left to right. So I'm going to get 10y equals negative 10. Divide by 10. And y equals negative 1. All right, let's do number 2. So we're going to distribute by 2 here, everything into the parentheses. 2x minus 14 minus 10 equals 12 minus 4x. And actually, I'm going to stop there. You are going to finish that, and we're going to see how it went in class. Alrighty, the Coleman family had their bill at a restaurant reduced by $7.50 because of a special discount. They left a tip of $8.90, which is 20% of the reduced amount. How much was their bill before the discount? So they got their bill reduced by $7.50. So the bill minus $7.50 is what that says. They left a tip of $8.90. Well, that is, which was or is, was 20% of the reduced amount. Of the reduced amount. So remember, of means multiplication. And so we need to take 20% of the reduced amount. Now, for percentages, we cannot use them mathematically unless we change them to a decimal. Okay, so remember, to change percentages to a decimal, we just move it twice to the left. That's because they're all out of 100, right? And so that's where we can get that from too. So we're going to take 2/10 and multiply it by the reduced amount, which is the bill minus $7.50, and that's going to get us $8.90. So we are once again combining 7.3 with 7.2. This is where your calculator is definitely going to come in handy. So we're going to distribute by 2/10 here and here. So we're going to get 2/10 B minus, well, what's 2/10 times 7.50? It's $1.50 equals $8.90. So I'm going to add $1.50 to get the constants together. 2/10 B equals, well, $1.50 plus $8.90 would be $10.40. And then we will divide by 2/10. And the bill was originally $52. So the bill was $52 before it was reduced, because we reduced it and then paid our tip on the reduced amount. All right, so things to remember, right? Multiply the number on the outside to everything on the inside. I'm going to put a 1. That's all I'm going to put. Multiply the number on the outside to everything on the inside. That's the main thing to remember. All right, here is your independent practice. This is going to be similar to the problem we did together here. Okay, so here's your example to use. And until next time, see you hasta mañana.